These liberals are something else. They keep stepping in it. So first, we're going off with Mr. Hardy over here. You know, Jennifer just tweeted out polling data. And the polling data said, the question is, it feels like everything is broken in Canada right now. 70% polled agree with that statement. 27% disagree with it. That's a big disparity. Mr. MP Ken Hardy, he says, take a look around the planet. Yes, things are tough for some here in Canada, but most of the world would love to trade their troubles for ours. And this man got ratioed to oblivion. 390,000 views on this tweet, 76 likes, 1.2 thousand comments.
Her comment back, this is what I thought was really, really good. And you could tell because 585 people liked it. Certainly a lot more than 76. Yeah.
And she says, things can be bad all over, but we can also acknowledge the very real struggle here at home. The fact the majority feel like some things are broken should be taken seriously. It's not just this government's fault. It's a collective issue, but we shouldn't gaslight people out of it.
Exactly. And that's exactly what I thought too. It's kind of like when you tell your friend, you're like, oh man, I'm having the worst day. Like my dad, or, you know, my dad went to the hospital, and somebody else will be like, oh yeah, well, I don't have a dad. It's like both situations suck.
Yeah.
But it's like the fact that you had to come in there and do that is just so obnoxious. That's exactly right. Like this MP, like how tone deaf can you be? And I had said because she had posted on her TikTok, and I kind of wrote onto it. I said, it's giving gaslighting. And then the other thing I said, it's also really easy to say when you're an MP getting paid by the people who are struggling, because you're also getting a raise soon. Congrats, MPs.
Yep.
So everybody else is just trying to scrape together what they can. And you get somebody like that looking at somebody like this, you know, saying, take a look around the planet. Things are worse elsewhere. It's like, no, take a look in your backyard. There's people struggling in Surrey, BC. Do better.
Yeah. And you're the one at the table being able to have an impact on those decisions. So
exactly.
I know he's just trying to deflect and be like, oh, we're not doing that bad a job. At least we're not like these other guys. That gives. Or just like, you know, your boss comes to you and says, you know, you could really start picking it up. We're kind of losing revenue based on your performance here. You've lost money here, lost money there. And you turn around to your boss like, well, at least I'm not as bad as that guy over there. Idiot.
Yeah.
You're a moron.
But like, what other places was he talking about? Did he want to be like, at least we're not as bad as Ukraine. They've got a whole, you know, a superpower attacking them. Like, you know what I mean? Like, give me a break.
Seriously.
Like, come on.
What a jabroni. Second thing that happened with an MP this week, though.
Is this the lobster lady?
Oh, lobster lady all day, dog.
Oh, no.
Dude.
I didn't know you had this.
Diane Leboussier is coming in hot today. She, again, is an MP, Ministry of Fisheries, Oceans, and the Canadian Coast Guard. And she says, yes, conservative politicians, Canadian lobster, deal with it. She's holding the piece of lobster at the Boston Seafood. Don't know the point she's trying to make there, but she's making a point.
I know. I saw it and I was like, am I losing something in translation? Like, I know my French isn't amazing, but like, and they have the transcript in English. I'm like, oh, okay. Like, what does this have to do with the conservatives? Like, she's just holding up this like beast of a lobster. And I'm like, are you buying it? Are you selling it? Like, are you just like, is this supposed to be advertising? Because lady, you're not it. Like, go talk to like national PR or something. Like, I don't know what you're doing, but, and at first I thought she had a bib on, but then I just realized that was her white shirt underneath. I was like, oh, she's going to eat the lobster. It's like, no. Yeah. I really don't know what she's doing.
Her whole point here is she's down in Boston trying to promote Canadian lobster.
How though?
And she just says that unlike the conservatives, we actually support our fisheries. That's what she said. And we all said, what? What's your point? Like, what is this accomplishing? You look like a jabroni. And admittedly, if I didn't see her title, I just thought she'd be some person just like, hey, here's a lobster. That's all I think it is.
Well, that's the thing. It's like, you know, she's like, I'm down here promoting Canadian fisheries. I'm like, how? Like, what are you doing? I guess that's a part of like the political system we'll have to save for Jennifer, because I'm just like, if I am I don't know, a Costco or a Walmart or whatever the States uses for Superstore, CVS. And I've got this lady coming at me with a lobster being like, Canadian lobster.
Buy it.
I'd be like, okay, crazy. Like, I just don't know what she's doing. Like, is she promising some kind of tax incentive or cuts or reduction on exports if you buy Canadian lobster? Does she have the power to do that? And why are the Conservatives being brought into this? Like, this is the problem with the current Liberal government. It's like everything they do, and it's like, but not the Conservatives. It's like, can you do anything yourselves?
Yeah, this is we're dunking on you guys, and as you said there, it really does give me the vibe of I'm just walking through the streets of Toronto and someone starts chasing me, trying to buy a lobster off them. That's what that tells me. I'm like, gee, you're having a tough time out here and trying to make a dime. That's how I feel. I was just like, please buy these lobsters. I just stole them off the back of a truck. They're gonna die any day soon, so please give me $30 for this sucker.
Yeah. It's like we were in Paris a couple years back, and if you go to the Eiffel Tower, there's all these guys with these like sparkly light up Eiffel Towers, and they're just coming at you. Like they see you and they're like, oh, that's a tourist. And they just come at you. Or if you're on the beaches of Mexico, there's like the people with the parrots and the monkeys and things like that. Yeah. They're like coming at you. And it's just like, that's what it feels like. The Canadian version like, with our lobster.
Absolutely. You come over the Nova Scotian border and you're greeted by this lady. That's what's happening.